Hi girls, welcome to VEDA number 12, I think it's 12. Today I am going to explain why I am trying to conceive in the first place and why my name is on YouTube, and I've also added it to my Facebook name. It's now, well, YouTube it's JpouchBabyBlog. It should really be vlog because if it's YouTube, but yeah, at the time I didn't realise. Facebook, it's cos IVF Jpouch. Basically, when I was younger, I suffered from a condition called Ulcerative Colitis. I'm looking up here because I've wrote some notes down just to kind of keep my vlog informative, not blubberish. Yeah, I had Ulcerative Colitis and I was diagnosed in 1997 after many years of suffering with bloody diarrhea, too much information I know, abdominal pain, frequent using the toilet, weight loss and kind of really painful trapped gases and things. I had various little ops to kind of see what was going on, like colonoscopies where there's cameras up the bottom and, you know, all different types of things. I had steroids to try and get rid of it, and I had loperamide, which is like an Imodium type medicine, or it could be Imodium, just a different name of it. I had enemas at the bottom with steroids to try and calm it all down, because it's basically just ulcers and inflamed bowel. Well, ulcerative colitis is the colon, which is the large intestine. So like the small one goes down, the small, and the large one is like a G kind of shape. It goes around in a G and then down. So yeah, so with me, the whole of my intestine was riddled with ulcers, and it was inflamed and red. Every time I'd eat, it'd be like really swollen and sore, and was losing weight because everything I was eating was just coming the other way. And you would get a flare up when you were stressed, or like I said, depending on what you're eating and things. And there isn't any cure for it. Some people have it mild, some people have it more severe, and it's only treatment that can kind of help. And sometimes treatment is enough for some people, and some people, like myself, have to have surgery. Okay, so I had a ileanal pouch done, which is, well, I was supposed to have 3 operations in which they remove the large intestine, leaving the small intestine, which actually, I don't know how long it is, I should work this out, but it's actually quite long. If you were to take it out of the body and stretch it out, you'd be surprised how long it is, but it's all inside, all sort of twirled up. I was supposed to have 3 operations where one, they took the infected bowel out and they did an ileostomy, which is a surgical opening of the lower abdomen where the intestine sort of comes out the side of the body, and then you have a ileostomy bag at the side which collects all your stool. And you have to empty it every day and things. So I went into surgery expecting for that to happen, because they would make an ileanal pouch, which I'll explain in a minute. In the meantime, while everything sort of healed up, they didn't want to do it all in one. They do it in stages. But apparently, the small intestine couldn't reach the abdomen wall, so they had to do all 3 operations in one for me. So luckily for me, I know there's people out there that have just as good quality of life with their ileostomy bags, but I was lucky enough not to have that part of the surgery. Some people, they have the bag and they have it forever, and some people are able to just have it for a small time while other things are healing, and then they can reconnect to your bottom. So I hope this is making sense. So I've had what I've had called, it's called an ileanal pouch, and it's also called a which is why I call myself Jpouch, which is an internal reservoir. So they've made, out of the small intestine, they've made an internal reservoir inside where the rectum would be, and it's kind of formed by loops and things of the small intestine, which is then connected to your bottom. So from the small intestine where the large would be, they've made this Jpouch and connected it to my bottom. So yeah, it took a while to heal. Obviously I've got quite a nice big scar, which I'll show you now. If you're squeamish, turn off now, and if you don't want to see flab, turn off now. So from like here to here, and you can see that. It was a lot worse. It was a lot thicker. After my surgery, they sent me home. I had staples and things, and I had catheter and everything like that for a while. They want to just make sure that everything's going through. They want me to eat and everything first. It was quite, you know, I was 20, I'm now 32, for a 20-year-old to go through that and have that sort of scarring as well is quite hard, growing up with that sort of thing, you know. So yeah, after the operation they make you eat so they can see if it's all working properly, so that's quite hard. Yeah, it was quite a difficult time, you know, having to get used to everything. Yeah, so then obviously it's been 12 years since that's happened now. I still have to watch what I eat, and also where before, where I was eating what I wanted and it was almost sort of coming out the other end, sorry for too much information, but this is how it is. Then once I was fixed, I ate the same as I was before when I was poorly, and because it was absorbing the food, I put on lots of weight. So I went from being like an 8 UK size to 16, something like that. And it actually left my scar almost folded in, like because I had quite a lot of weight around the middle. It would be tight where the scar was through the middle, and it looked like a front bottom. It was quite embarrassing. So a couple of years ago, I had, well, it must have been in the last 3 years, I had reconstruction of my scar. But anyway, yeah, I've had all that done, and then it wasn't a few years of having kind of unprotected sex. It kind of came to our attention that obviously I wasn't conceiving for a while. So I went to have lots of tests done, and that's when they found out that I had scar tissue, which has blocked my fallopian tubes, which means that I can't conceive naturally, because obviously the egg gets released from the ovary, it goes down, can't get down the the fallopian tube into the uterus where the sperm meets it, blah blah blah. I'm sure I don't need to explain that part, but I just thought I would anyway. Yeah, so eventually that's how I've ended up being on the IVF train. So yeah, that's me. So I've had the dye test, I'm not sure what that's called, HSG, something like that, where they told me, the nurse actually said, oh, it looks like you're, looks like I can see the dye going through the tubes, which was fine, but then it wasn't until I actually went to the consultant's appointment that they said, no, you've got scarring. But they never actually wrote to me and told me how much of the tubes were scarred, so I never really knew. Obviously I was then put forward to IVF clinics, or I was put on the list for IVF, but then I moved to Surrey, and then I had to get them to transfer me over. It took a while to get all the process going, but it's only since I've had my miscarriage from my first IVF and the second IVF, having the chemical pregnancy, that I've actually gone back to my doctor to say I really would like to know just how blocked my tubes were and what the actual kind of diagnosis was, and because I never really saw those records because I moved. So they said you have to come in and have an appointment to see us. So I went into the doctor's, and he said to me, oh, if by what we can see on the notes, it only looks like it's just the part of the tubes that are connected to the uterus. So I'm going on Wednesday to see a local hospital here to have some new tests done, just to have a fresh eye. I know I'm doing IVF at the moment, but just to have maybe another one of these dye tests to see, because sometimes when you get pregnant, it could unblock your tubes or anything like that. I don't know, but there are stories of people that have been told they have blocked tubes that can conceive. So, you know, I mean, to be honest, I never properly tried to conceive. I had unprotected sex sporadically, you know, often, but I never really sort of timed it with OPKs or anything like that. I never really heard about them until I've started doing IVF. So obviously this is our last attempt coming up, and I've got these new tests being done, and I just want to know what's going on with my body, obviously. And yeah, so that's me really. I just thought I'd do a quick vlog about that, just in case people who have just tuned in and started to subscribe were wondering what the name was all about, and yeah, just a little bit more in depth about me. Then this is it. So yeah, that's it. So my first ever vlog, I realised, I looked back, I was 8 weeks pregnant, and I started this channel to get in touch with girls that were doing IVF, as well as people that had suffered with fertility issues from bowel surgery. So yeah, this is really just to kind of reach out to anyone that, I haven't actually met anyone that is in the same situation as me, that's had scarring from bowel surgery. So yeah, if you're out there, please do get in touch, and you can also find me on Facebook as well. So yeah, this was VEDA 11. Thank you if you've stuck with me till the end, and I appreciate you all watching and supporting. And yeah, I'll speak to you tomorrow, where I'm going to have my baseline scan for my IVF to see how the first drugs have worked to stop the ovaries and, you know, the pituitary gland. I can never say that word. So the lining has to be below 5 millimeters, I think. So I've just finished my period, so I'm hoping everything will be fine, and I'll update you guys on that tomorrow. And yeah, bye for now. Hello, me again. Sorry, I just wanted to quickly add that I have made a group on Facebook for people that have also that are also struggling with fertility issues since having bowel surgery. So if you're interested in joining, or you know anyone that would be interested in joining, check out the link below. Bye.